Buena Park is in the building. Buena Park? What's the deal? Nothing but the homies out there. Nothing but the homies. What's up with the homies?
Who poppin', we poppin', we major.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the show where anything goes. I'm your host, Mark Vargas, and you're tuned into the Centerlocked Show. And today we got a very, very special guest, my brother, my Sac Don brother, the comedian, host of your Last Resort podcast, Brandon Legendre.
Hey, what's up, guys? Thanks for having me. Hey, you got the name right. So I know you were stressing about that, but you got it right, and I'm here. So thanks for having me, dude. I'm excited.
Yeah, man. I had to make sure it was right because I didn't want to get roasted right now because, you know, definitely we've been there before, been there, done that. And I don't want to go toe to toe with a comedian right now. So I'm better. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get you.
So what's up, bro, man? How you been?
I've been good, man. I'm out here in Austin. You know, obviously I'm an OC guy at heart, but made the move out here to Austin. Life's cheap, rent's cheap. I'm riding Joe Rogan's nuts till they fall off, and I'm fucking out here, you know, just living.
That's right, man. You know, one thing I'm really curious about is, dude, so what's up with your whole the marijuana scene in Texas? You know, like have you been arrested yet? Have you been pulled over?
I have not been arrested. I listen. All right, I got a really funny story for you. So when I moved out here, you know, I like to smoke weed. I'm a stoner. I don't know why I say a little bit. I smoke most nights. I smoke every night. I'm trying to lie to myself right then and there. And I was like, yo, I need to bring some weed out here. You know, I don't know what the scene's like. It's going to take me a minute to find a guy. You know, I'm pretty white. I can't just go around being like, hey man, you got weed. People are going to think I'm a cop and shit. So I drove out with an ounce on me and a couple stizzy pods, which I was like, dude, we're fine. We're driving. It's all good. I've driven to Texas before. They're not going to care. And don't judge me, guys. My whole backup plan was I'm probably white enough that nothing will happen to me. And I know that that's fucked up. But someone has to use the white privilege. Otherwise, I'd just be letting it go to waste. So I was like, dude, I'll be fine. And the way you drive from Cali is you come through El Paso. And El Paso's right by Juarez. So they have other shit to worry about besides my white ass bringing in weed for me to smoke in my living room. So I was fine. But I didn't know this. People who come through the panhandle, the top of Texas, I talked to some people at those places at the border. There are guards with drug sniffing dogs that search your cars and check your shit. And bro, if I would have got caught, the minimum sentence for what I have was 5 years in prison. 5. Could you imagine minimum me 5 years in prison? I'd be fucked.
Yeah, literally and figuratively.
Yeah, I'm big, but I'm scrawny now. I lost all the football weight and strength. I'm a lean 195 pounds. I have two choices. It's become someone's bitch, or basically I have to join the Aryan Brotherhood. Those are my two fucking choices in prison, which I prefer not to do either, if I'm being honest. Dude, the weed scene, it's so illegal here in Texas. So dude, a joint will give you jail time, a month in jail. The only saving grace is shout out Austin, Texas. It's a very hippie city. They decriminalized it. So you just get a fucking slap on. No one gives a fuck if you smoke weed in Austin, but the second you step outside, they'll send you to prison for that shit.
That's coming from California, you know, we already know what the scene is out here, but that's nuts out there, man. You know,
dude, I miss the guy who drops it off at your door. I had to drive 40 minutes there and 40 minutes back to pick up weed the other day because that's where the dealer lives. Bullshit, bro.
Oh my man. But I know you're going back and forth, you know, from performing. We'll get into this later. Have you brought anything back yet, or did you just stay out there?
So here was my thought process. I was going to fly with it because I had a roommate in college who visited California. He flew back to Kentucky. The rules out of LAX are they kind of don't give a fuck. Good luck where you land. In most places, Don't have drug sniffing dogs when you land. They're really looking for like bombs and like fruit for some fucking stupid reason. But I it was just a thought that like I can get weed out here. And does it suck that I gotta wait for the drug dealer to reply? Yes. Does it suck that I gotta drive? Yes. But it's way less risky than flying it in. And in the end, like, dude, I'm not one of those weed purists. Sativa and indica do the same shit to me. Like, I don't give a fuck how, like, as long as it's not some shitty fucking weed, as long as it gets me high, dude. That's the whole point of doing it.
Yeah.
So no, I didn't bring any. I don't know, man. It's just, I don't want to get in trouble. I'm too scared is basically what it is.
Yeah, I mean that's I know I was listening to Be Real from Cypress
Mhm.
Hill, and they were saying they had a little story where they had a few, different situations. They had a few pounds, different
Oh yeah.
high rollers, you know. Uh,
Mhm.
but yeah, they were like, yeah, don't go through Texas with the that ganja because they don't play around.
Dude.
But I know Austin, like you said, has been kind of like a new wave of
Yeah, it's
Texas
nice. It's
and all that.
It's just weird that you can walk into a gun with Walmart, but you can't have weed on you. It's like very weird polar opposite. Not to get super fucking political, but because I don't really give a fuck if people have guns. That's not my problem. It's weird that that's where they draw the line to me. And then I don't know. I don't know, dude. It's just like that ounce that I have. I would have been a drug trafficker. It would have been Brandon Legendre, the drug. Me and Pablo Escobar would have been fucking drug traffickers. That's bullshit. That's ridiculous.
It would have, in 5 years you would have came back out and
Yeah.
with a couple of prison tattoos, and that would have been
Yeah.
a good bit for a comedy bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The long
Let me
con.
tell you why this scar's right here underneath my my left pec.
For real.
Nah, but
Fuck.
we'll get back into the whole, everything you got going on later on in the
Hmm.
episode. Definitely want to let everybody hear about what you got going on, what you started with your Last Resort
Of course.
podcast. I know we were talking before everything kind of started and all that. So, but first, I want to talk about something that maybe if you are not white, you have no clue what we're talking about, but if you do know what we're talking about, it's actually probably I think one of the top TV shows out there, and that's Dave. Um,
Yeah.
basically about Lil Dicky. If you guys know who Lil Dicky is, once again, like everybody that's in here listening, that's a little bit darker than me is probably like, what the fuck are you talking about right now?
It's the white fool from the Chris Brown video that you saw not too long ago where they switch bodies. They're all like, oh, that dude now. So yeah,
No,
it's that
definitely.
guy. It's the
Or
Jewish
the
looking
the
fool.
guy from Earth. Remember that
Yeah,
music
there you
video,
go.
Earth?
That white guy. Yeah.
That white guy looks like he just homeless slash, pothead slash, probably is investing in some tech company. That guy right
Yeah,
there.
yeah,
But
that's a good way to describe him.
what'd you think, man? What'd you think of the this? I don't really want to say both seasons, but we'll go just with the second season. What'd you think?
Dude, all right. The best representation I saw of it, verbal meme. I'm going to describe it. Y'all know the meme where it's the shitty drawn horse and then the back and then the front is beautifully drawn. Someone tweeted that. It's not my credit. Someone was like, this is Dave season 2. And I agree. It started off a little slow and weird. Dude, it's a show. Do you get anxiety watching the show like I do?
Yeah, no, bro. I watched it.
Oh,
I'd like so my context of this, I
mhm.
binged the entire season this past weekend
Yeah.
with my girl, right? And the whole fucking time, I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, when you watch stuff and it
Yeah.
like you so I'm changing topics real quick, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You
Go
usually
ahead.
get this feeling like when you go to church, right? When you're listening
Yeah. Yeah.
to
Yeah.
the preacher, pastor talk, and you're like, damn, he's talking about me. You know what I mean? I'm
Yeah.
watching
Yeah.
this show and I'm like, dude, I'm fucking, what the fuck? And I feel the whole time my girl looking at me like, oh, see? And I'm like, oh my God, man, this is some bullshit. But like you said, bro, the anxiety, like the buildup, like I want to
I it,
say halfway through the season, I was like, dude, like this show's fucking amazing. Just like how they're able to capture that, and then just like
yeah.
as like what I mean. It's always you always want to feel something. You know what I mean? Whether
Hmm.
like as an entertainer yourself, you want to leave your listener, your fan, whatever, your customer,
Yeah.
something, and definitely this show did leave us with something.
No, okay. So yeah, I love the show. I think it's good. But like you, dude, it's one of the, it's just especially the first several episodes, there's so much drama and stuff that I literally, it's one of those shows where I'm watching like this with my fucking, peeking like, oh dude, no, it's like watching Curb Your Enthusiasm. If you've ever watched that show with Larry David, where it's not that it's not great. You just are like, why the
Yeah.
entire show. And I liked it and I don't mind those. And it's a testament to the writers of the show and the creatives and Dave himself for being able to portray that. But my problem with the first half of the season was, while it did a good job at that, it was all over the place. Like I was like, because I was like, what are we doing? Are we going to do the full Atlanta? You've seen Atlanta?
Yeah.
Are we going to do the full Atlanta where there's not really a storyline the entire time, except maybe Paperboy and like the relationship between Childish and the girl? Like, besides that, like it's almost a new episode that has and we were doing that with Dave. And I was like, okay, that's fine. But like, can I get some more like fun episodes and other shit? And like, what are we doing? And then they did a great job of, while some shit they didn't talk about, but they kind of tied everything back in together from season 1 and season 2. And I loved it, dude. I thought it was the ending was phenomenal.
The whole last, I guess the second to last episode, that was a whole trip right there.
Mm-hmm,
I mean, you
yeah.
had those episodes, like the episode with Benny Blanco. Fuck, man.
I love that episode.
Well, you're white, so of course.
No, but that's what I'm saying. I loved it because it's such the perfect representation of like, okay, like one, that's how white people are. Like white people are so cool and weird and open with just saying like gay stuff to each other. That's not meant in like a homophobic way or not meant in a sexual. I don't get it. It's this weird white guy thing. And playing college with a bunch of teammates who aren't white and not from California, you learn quickly that non-white people don't fuck with that shit, bro. Like, and it's not homophobic. It's just that like they don't think it's funny when you're like, hey, bro, you look kind of cute when you fucking mad. I'm gonna kiss you. They're like, dude, that stop, please. You're making me uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So for me, it was really funny to watch because I was just like, I've fucking been there. I've been those white people that are making other people uncomfortable.
Yeah, no, I mean,
firsthand.
That whole episode, I'm just thinking back to like, fuck, man, this is like every like. That happens daily in pretty much every football locker room. Not
me and Jason Jones, dude. Shout out Jason Jones.
Yeah, no. So Jason Jones, shout out to Jason Jones.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, like that whole concept of like really making people feel uncomfortable. Like I think that was definitely a bigger part into like it's not just for the episode. I think Dave's trying to make like a statement into it, and Lil Dicky like. I think that was a great, cool thing to see. Then I like how Gator's boy, was like, bro, I'm a fucking EMT. Like this shit ain't, this shit don't bother me. You know what I mean?
And the thing is never and it's a perfect representation because never are like other people offended. Like they weren't calling him like the F word. They weren't shitting on him for it. They were just like, I don't fuck with this, dude.
Yeah, take that shit out of here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they did in the most like adult way possible, which I was like, dude, there's just so many good writing moments in it. I think the season really flipped for me. Like the bar mitzvah episode was rough when Els and Lil Dicky are fighting because you're
the basketball episode.
Dude, that episode just like that one made me so sad because you're just like, dude, we've all lost a friend that's been close. Like we've all over some dumb shit, over petty shit. So everyone can relate. And then at least it ended well. I did like the ending with Gata and like his song and Little Dicky. We have to acknowledge the fact that basically that episode at the end plays that song and myself included and millions of other people went and downloaded that song. Like he helped his boy out. That song was charting after the episode, which is crazy.
The one thing I would say going back to the episode with Els played by Taco from from
Odd Future
Squad, right?
Yeah.
Um, I took it as not so much losing a friend, but just so much.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yes, losing a friend, but also like, you and your boys, like you get so much shit going on. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's also like sometimes you got to step back, like especially like if you have friends. I mean, for instance, I know you got a couple boys that are getting busier with whatever they got in life, and we're
Yeah.
at that
Yeah. Of
age too.
course.
Both of us are at that age where we have a lot of
Mm-hmm.
friends that are kind of not getting left behind, but also like we have friends like on different. I got boys in the NFL. I got
Yeah.
boys fucking still living at home with mom, not really working.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like there's a wide, variety of, our people that we've grown up with, just exploring different things. And you do, just naturally lose friends and
Yeah.
lose the relationships that you might have never would have thought. And it does, it
Yeah.
does take something like that just to, you know, it does, sometimes it's a tough situation, especially like how many boys that you
Excuse me.
knew from like elementary to high school, like you know what
Oh
I mean?
wow, yeah, yeah, dude. I mean, if you think this always is so insane to me. Like, if you think back, because high school is a little different than JUCO. High school is a different brotherhood that like you can only experience if you've played high school football. Dude, there were guys that were my best friends on the team, and it's nothing against them. I don't have any will towards them, but like people I haven't spoke to in 4 years, 5 years now, and it's not because I don't fuck with them. It's not because I don't like them. It's just that we went separate ways, and like everyone has their circle that subsides outside of football, outside of hobbies, outside of life. Those are your boys, and those guys weren't my boys. And it's not that they're not my guys anymore. It's just it drifts apart. Like, dude, like even like us, we're always gonna be brothers because we played football together and we're O and D line, always battling against each other, and we had a bunch of fun times. And like we don't talk as often, but that doesn't mean that I don't fuck with you or like I wouldn't help you in any scenario or you're not my brother anyway. We went through shit that most people can't. It just takes adults to be like, yeah, that's cool, and not you be like, Brandon hates me because he doesn't talk to me every day. The fuck you want to talk about every day, dude? To
Exactly.
be weird. Leave me alone. Leave me
Yeah.
alone, man. I don't like talking to my girlfriend every day, and I
Yeah.
live with her.
No, definitely, bro. Like that's one thing. Like I was talking with, like exactly what you said, like our circle of friends. Like
Mm-hmm.
you have there are multiple types of circles. We have our sack down circle that we have our group
Yeah.
chat that we have on Snapchat. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? We have like just whatever your high school friends and all that. But it's like, you know what? Like the fact that I'm not talking to you every day to me isn't a problem. It's like where I want to see if we're boys still is like if we hang out and it's like we can go back into that right away. If we can go back into
Exactly.
that, I know we're good. You know what I mean? Like
No
it does
doubt. No
not matter
doubt.
whatever you do, like because there is, you hang out with some people and then it's not the same. You know what I mean? It's
Mm-hmm.
like, all right, you know what I mean? All right, you're on some different stuff right now.
Yeah.
But like I could go with my boys from BP instantly. We can start talking and it's like we're back in high school. Not of course back in high
Yeah.
school, but like you know what I mean, like just that type of friendship, brotherhood that you do build. You know what I mean?
No, exactly. Yeah. It's the way that you pick it up. If it's a friendship, it never leaves. If and the thing too, dude, we're a different generation. Like all the like keeping in touch shit is so different than like what our parents, dude. I don't need to call you and be like, hey Mark, what's up with your life? Like, dog, I know everything that goes on in your life because you're on social media. And you didn't get on here and I wasn't like, I'm in Austin. You were like, you're in Austin? You're a comic? No way. When did like we know that?
Yeah.
And so it's cool because you can still feel in touch and feel. That's why I'll interact with people's stories and shit, even if they're not like my closest friends, and talk to people online because isn't that the cool part of what it's for in a sense? I don't know. I fuck with social media a lot because
No.
for those reasons.
Yeah. No. I'm not a. I know a lot of people are. Oh, social media is bad. Social media this
Mm-hmm.
and that. Like I think it's a fine line. You know what I mean? Like if you know how to
Yeah.
use it properly, like if you don't take advantage of it, or if you don't get taken advantage of it by social media, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
there's so many benefits from it. Like you said, like exactly, I can just scroll through my feed and
Mm-hmm.
see people I've known since I was 6 years old, people I've known since I was 20, like
Yeah.
just stuff like that. And like I said, just putting a little like, or like you said, like on their stories, like, you know what I mean? Like I do a thing on Fridays, put on Fridays, you know what I mean? I share
Hmm.
people's stuff. I want, you know, people to see, whether you're close friends, you know, somebody that's really close to me or somebody even I don't really know like that. If I feel like you got something cool going on, like bro, like that's to me, that's what social media is for. Like I'm just
Yeah.
trying to here to connect people, just stuff like that. You know what I mean?
No, that is no, that's a perfect way to put it. Dude, I've met little back on Dave. I've met little Dicky. Um I last year when the season came out or however fucking long ago that was, he did this thing where it was like enter a contest. I have 50 free people with a +1 to invite to the screening premiere of Dave at the Actors Guild of America on Sunset, and I like signed up for it and I fucking won.
Oh
And I got
shit.
to go and I brought my girlfriend and like, dude, hilarious. So I don't know what the fucking Actors Guild bullshit of America is. They can go like, I don't give a fuck. I'm a little Dickie fan. So I wore like khaki shorts, like or not like khaki, like white people shorts, whatever the fuck those things are called. And
Yeah.
then you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I got you.
And then I wore a baseball jersey that's a little Dicky jersey. Like I'd bought it for a festival a while back, and it looks like a Dodgers jersey, but it says like Dicky on the front, and it has like 42 on the back. It says little Dicky, and I wore that, and like my girl wore like just like fucking short jean shorts, and we're so that's how we're dressed, bro. Everyone else at this event is wearing tuxedos,
Oh my god.
$1,000 dresses. Like, and don't get me wrong, we're the fans. We stick out. He's probably honestly was like, fuck yeah, like those are fans that are here. But like all the other Hollywood people, bro, were in the nicest shit. And I'm just dressed like an asshole. But like, dude, like, I mean, obviously, like Andrew Santino's there, Lil Dicky's there, but like Tyler the Creator was there, like David Dobrik was there, Benny Blanco was there. All these famous people were there, which was super cool. And then we got to watch the screening of the second and the fourth episode. I don't know why he showed us those two, but like they were dope and it was cool. And then I got after he was taking pictures in front of like the board with the picture of it with like the cast and crew, and some of us fans got in line and I got in line, and he took like a picture with one fan and he was like, guys, I have to go. And then he looked, and I swear to God, he looked right at me and he could see me wearing the jersey. He goes, I could take a picture with you. And he took a picture with me and then was like, I'll take a group picture with all the rest of you. And it was honestly cool because when he said that, the other people were like, yeah, get a picture with him. Dude, he's wearing your jersey. Like, he's a huge fucking fan. Get a picture with him. And I got to get a picture with him. And to this day, bro, what I wanted to say to him was like, the show was amazing. It was the greatest thing I've ever seen. I loved it. But what I said was, I shook his hand. I said, the show was even better than I thought it was going to be, which sounds like such like a not full compliment, like a bat. He was like, oh, thank you. And I was like, I loved it. It was amazing. Like, it was the best show. Like, I started to panic, but in the moment I was like, dude, I'm fucking this up. And then I got to take pictures with him and he was really nice and he thanked me for coming. And then he retweeted my tweet, and then I got to like do the little like stand-up clip under it and get a fuck ton of views. So shout out Lil Dicky.
Yeah, shout out to Lil
Right.
Dicky.
Yeah,
But
I'm
to go
shouting
back on that
people out
little
on this
comment though,
podcast.
like you probably how many people were gassing him up that night? You know what I mean?
Oh, I'm sure a million. And I'm
So like,
sure, dude, he doesn't remember me. Like, it's not a big deal.
yeah, I mean, you know what? Fuck it. You know what I mean? Like you're gonna have that time one day. You know what I mean? You're gonna take a picture
Yeah.
with a friend, and it's gonna be, full circle. So that's big vision
Yeah.
right there. So from one white
Exactly.
guy to another white guy, let's talk this Jake Paul fight.
Okay, hell yeah. The champion of the white people, the blonde-haired stallion.
Um,
I don't know, dude. I like Jake. Wait, okay. First off, I need help with this. Who the fuck is who? Because I can't figure out which Paul brother is which. You
okay,
gotta
so
tell me.
Logan is the one that looks like he could star in any action movie, and
And
then
he's the one who
Jake,
fought Mayweather, who's not really the boxer, right? Jake
yeah,
is the boxer.
yeah, Jake is the
Okay,
they
okay,
call him the problem child.
okay. Yeah.
he knows what he's doing. I think he's the better. It's tough because you look at Logan. Logan looks like a fucking, you know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
he's like I said, he could
He's
star in any
built, yeah.
action movie. Fucking, you need a blonde, tall, white guy. He could
Mhm.
be in a Marvel movie tomorrow. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Oh, totally.
Jake Paul is like, all right, this dude probably looks like he was maybe an ex-athlete, like
Mhm.
probably smokes a little bit of weed, probably,
Yeah.
talks a lot of shit, which is probably him. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but first off, before we even get into that, people that like are hating on the Paul brothers are fucking just haters. You know what I mean?
Yeah, bro. I don't like the only way I'll give you a pass is if like you've been watching boxing for like 40 years and your stick is that they ruined boxing. But if you're some cocksucker who watches a Mayweather fight once a year and a Pacquiao once a year and you're like, they ruined boxing, shut the fuck up. You don't watch, they can't ruin some shit that you don't give a fuck. Who cares? Who cares? And yes, I get that they're making somewhat of a mockery about it, but boxing's never been more popular. There's never been more people with it. And look, Logan Paul is kind of a clown. Jake Paul is a legit fucking boxer, like a legit amateur, like semi-professional boxer who I think actually takes it very seriously, and enough people don't give him credit for that.
No, that bro. The whole thing about it that I'm looking at it is, bro. If you, even to those people fucking got COVID over there, dog.
No,
Fucking
I mean maybe we don't wear masks out
Delta,
here.
fucking
I'm vaccinated. Don't unfollow me because I said that to non-vaccinated people, but
nah.
I could
But
have it.
hey,
Delta
never know.
variant,
It
baby.
takes 2 weeks to find out, so maybe a couple days.
Fuck.
Yeah, but nah, bro. So like the whole thing, like you said, like even to the people that are 40 years deep in the game, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've been watching this shit since Mike Tyson stepped on the
Hmm.
scene. You had to see that boxing has been like growing in the opposite direction.
Oh, boxing's been going to shit, bro. Since Pacquiao, since the Pacquiao and Mayweather fight didn't happen in their prime, boxing has only gone downhill of people ducking and fucking fake champs and bullshit matchups to get people. It sucks, dude, because it's a great sport,
It's all like, I mean, it's not political like in a government type of
but all
thing. It's
politics.
all politics, bro. It's all like,
Yeah.
what money is coming from, like look at like you had the Plant and Canelo fight. That shit went
Hmm.
like, or even the Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder fight, like
Yeah.
they took that shit to court, you know what I mean? Like that shit, nobody wants to
Hmm.
see that fight. People want to see Fury versus Anthony Joshua, like that was the fight that people wanted to see.
Yeah.
But then this fool goes to court, like whatever the court says. But like, dude, the Paul brothers are doing like if I'm a boxing enthusiast, I'm happy for this because I'm like people are
Yes.
looking at the sport, you know, people really want boxing to be back where it was in the 80s, 90s,
Yeah.
and it's gonna take people like the Paul brothers to come in, spice the game up,
Hmm.
and that's what fucking Floyd does, to an extent, But
Yeah.
Floyd's the greatest of all time, but like people weren't watching him because how good of a boxer he was. You know what I mean? People
Exactly.
were
Yeah. No.
watching to
Yeah.
see him lose, to see him get knocked out.
Yes, dude.
Like that was
Yes.
what people bought a pay-per-view for, spent $80 on.
Yeah. Stop acting like in 2010 you were buying Floyd pay-per-views because you were like, you know what I love? Defensive, smart boxing. That's what I want to watch. Nah, man. You were secretly hoping every time that motherfucker got knocked out, unless you were a true Floyd fan. And dude, for me, okay, this is for the real boxing fans that are listening. The day that I truly stopped giving a fuck about boxing was about let's say 4 years, maybe between 5 and 3 years, like that little window. Pacquiao fought a really young dude on ESPN Fight Night. They were bringing back free ESPN Fight Night. It was the first one. Like Sugar Ray's son, I believe, fought on the undercard, and Pacquiao boxed this young and up and coming guy. And when I say, if it was, I forget if it was like 8 or 10 rounds, Pacquiao won every round except maybe one. And I'm not a Pacquiao fan. It's not that. Everyone in the world, if you're a boxing fan, you can agree with me. Pacquiao won that fight. It should have been a landslide, unanimous decision, and it ended in a split decision victory for the other guy. And the two judges had that guy winning by like 5 rounds. And that was the day that I was like, this shit's corrupt. This is bullshit. I'm done wasting my time and money watching this because, dude, he lost the fight like that. I didn't even care about the fight, and I was so furious. And that was the day for me as a boxing fan that I was like, I can't do this shit no more unless it's a big ass fight.
Yeah, I know. Like, and I come from like, we're not fighters, we're not boxers, but like we're a boxing family. We watch every Saturday. There was a barbecue going on. You know, my neighbors were getting involved. Like, I had shout out to my neighbors, June and Jet and all of them, Filipino family, fucking biggest Pacquiao fans of all time. You know what I mean? So anytime there was a Pacquiao fight, but even the Philippines, bro, they're fucking huge boxing fans. You know, so
yeah, and same in like Mexico, like in down south, like it's super big down there, and there's a cool like culture of like fans, and like I always think like anyone who's like what am I supposed to say, Latinx or whatever, will support any boxer that's Latinx. Any Mexican dude will support another Mexican dude. That's what I wanted to say, but I can't fucking say that anymore.
Yeah, well, you can go support, you know, Dana White and, you know, promoters, you know, but like
Conor
for instance,
McGregor.
but like, bro, like I would rather invest my time, my emotions into UFC at the moment. You know what I mean? Because like that's where
UFC's
it's at.
great, dude.
Yeah, you know what I
UFC
mean? Like,
is
perfect,
taking over.
perfect.
And
You know,
that's
you
what
got
boxing's
free
doing
fights.
wrong.
You got pay-per-views. You got the whole deal with ESPN, and then like, you know, you got the personalities all over the world. Like they do a good job of promoting their sport. You know, boxing is kind of more on the
100%.
individual to promote. You know, and fucking how many fucking weight classes and championship belts they got. Like
That's the stupid thing. The four belts is such an old. It works if you have a million billion people watching boxing, but no one is anymore. That shit's confusing. Like you're like, oh, there's 4 different heavyweight titles. Fucking go suck a dick. Like that's not interesting to watch. It doesn't. It's dumb. Listen, here's what's dumb. UFC could put boxing in a coffin. They could end that shit if they would just start paying their fucking fighters a livable wage. Because the UFC, it's gonna get talked about soon. The bigger they're gonna get, the woke crowd's gonna get into it, and they're gonna get in trouble. But they pay their fighters like shit unless you're a top fighter. And the thing is look, I get pay the top fighters. Like not everyone deserves McGregor money. Not everyone deserves, you know, DC and money like that and shit. But like some of these fighters on those cards are making like fucking 60 grand a fight, and it takes 3 months to train for.
You
like
gotta pay everybody, and you're like,
yeah, dude, you're telling me this fool's gonna
5,000-6,000.
Yeah, dude, you're telling me this fool's gonna like make like 60K a year getting the shit beat inside of him, being one of the most elite athletes in the world. And that's why people still go to boxing. It's why you saw McGregor step over to boxing. It's why you saw Ben Askren take that fight. Whether Ben Askren threw that fight or not, Ben Askren in that minute made more money than he ever made with UFC, Bellator, and ever would make combined in that 1 minute.
Yeah.
And that's the problem with
ridiculous.
UFC.
Like, I mean, I get what Dana's doing. Dana's like, fuck you guys. Like this, I built this shit up. You know what I mean? Like, but I mean, like, yeah, totally. Like, it's gonna happen soon. There's gonna be. I know the biggest thing is like they're trying to get like a fighters union.
That's gonna be good for them. Like the NFL has one. The
NFLPA. So like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, the players union, whatever it is you want to call it, or players association. But yeah, no, like definitely, bro. Like UFC scene. Fucking nuts right now. Can't wait for these next couple months. You have nothing but fucking great fights. But to go back for Saturday night with Jake Paul and Woodley, I don't know, dude. I feel like if Jake Paul wins this fucking fight, dude, it's fucking Pandora's box is open. Like anything is fucking anything and everything is up next. It could be easily shut down if fucking Woodley beats the shit out of him Saturday night. Like, and even if he does get his shit knocked in, right? Tyron Woodley, ex UFC champion, you know what I mean? If I'm Jake Paul, bro, I got 1 million subscribers, bro. Like I can go do anything I want. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if I'm Jake Paul, I'm going to the UFC next. You know what I mean? Like, and
Dude,
just doing
you're right.
something
Yeah.
completely wild like that. You know what I mean?
Why not, dude? Whoever is like, and maybe it's him, dude. And if it's him, fucking let me shake his motherfucking hand. But like, whoever is like his business guy is so smart because they did it right. No one's gonna take it serious. So they did it on that the DAZN or whatever fucking weird thing it
Zonia.
was where we had to watch 85 fucking rappers perform before the fights or whatever nonsense that was. It was smart because it was no one took it seriously, so they didn't do it with boxing. And then they took a fight with some nobodies, let him get his feet under. Then they took a fight with someone a little bigger. And then they took a fight with a UFC guy. And then now they're taking a fight with an even way more respected UFC guy. And they're slowly working into it. Because here's the thing, dude. If he beats Tyron Woodley, he's going to get to fight a real boxer, I bet. And he's going to make so much fucking money. And then he's probably going to get his ass beat and nothing matters because he just made a fucking bag and a half off
and then
what
turn
he's
it
going to be
and
able
then
to do.
turn that loss into a fucking uh either a documentary type movie where how I
Mm-hmm.
fucking took over the boxing world, you know, like, and then flip
Yeah.
into another bag. Like, it's just fucking nuts.
He's smart, dude, and I don't hate on him at all. Like, because I'm here for the entertainment. Like, I can't like Conor McGregor and pretend like I don't like Jake Paul. They're kind of the same person. That's what
Yeah.
you like about him. I get McGregor. Here's the thing: I get McGregor's trained more and earned more, but McGregor's way more of an asshole than Jake Paul is, and so like I don't get how that kind of doesn't offset, and they're not like the same person to you. How
Jake
you
Paul
don't?
kind of gets the bad rep from his brother, the whole thing, everything
Mm-hmm.
that happened with Logan in Japan. Like, I'm
Yeah,
not condoning that or anything like that, but
yeah,
you know, like, he's kind of wrapped into that, just kind of like, and also a lot of people just are haters, you know what I mean? Like, they see people with money, like these two white dudes, like, oh fuck those guys, you know, they're rich. Like, relax, bro.
yeah,
They're really like, the thing that really, for me, that sold me on it is they're in great fucking shape. Like, they're
yeah.
taking it seriously. Like, for how much of a
Mm-hmm.
joke you want to call it, they're doing the training. They moved to fucking Puerto Rico and are training like if they're, you know, if Floyd or fucking Pacquiao were getting ready for a big ass fight. You know what I mean? Like, they're
And
preparing like this is their I guess their career, you know what I mean?
yeah, and if they're taking this as a joke and not serious, then can I jokingly see you and not seriously go get fucking yoked and get a six pack and box every day? Let me go see you do that ironically, since that's what you think they're doing. I get both sides, but like I don't get at this point, at least for Jake. Logan, I get, but for Jake, how do you not have some respect for him?
Yeah. No, and also like, bro, if you're talking shit on Jake Paul, like, I want to see, like, he'll probably knock your ass out too. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean?
Yeah,
Like,
no doubt.
he's at that level now. Like, you know what I mean? You talking shit about me, see me in the ring, I'll knock your ass out.
And he's bigger. Like they say that there's like a certain, I mean, obviously you see small boxers get knocked out, but the knockouts come with the bigger guys. Like you need that power, power per square inch shit to knock someone out. And it's so much easier for a big guy. That's what's fun is he's a light heavyweight boxer. Like he can fight fun people because dude, let's not pretend like the 135 fights are that fun. I mean, some of the UFC ones are fun because they like twist and turn and fucking their ground game's crazy, but the the little flyweight boxing matches blow, bro. It looks like little
I'd rather
kisses
watch
the
a
whole
girl fight.
time.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'd
straight
rather
up,
watch
straight up.
Doug Rose fight all day than
Doug Rose is so sick. It sucks because like it's like this in comedy where people are like women are less funny than men. That's not the case. It's the thing though is like, okay, let's say only 10% of women are funny and only 10% of men are funny. The problem is there's 1,000 male comics, so 900 of them aren't funny and 100 seem they're funny. And so you're like, wow, there's 100 funny dudes. There's a lot of funny dudes. And then there's like 30 female comics and only like 5 of them are funny, which is the same, like, or 3 would be funny in the same 10% thing I'm using. But you go, there's only 3 funny female comics. Well, yeah, there's fucking, if you go to an open mics, bro, the list, it'll be 30 comics there and it's 28 guys and 2 girls. Like, of course, you're in your mind, you're going to think that. So the same way it sucks for UFC fights because the like high end women fights are fucking phenomenal, but there's such a drop off in talent that sometimes, bro, those undercards, the women will be like plus 700 underdogs and it's over in 30 seconds. And you're like, that sucked, dude. Like, why was that even a fight?
No, and the flip side, there are some girl fights that they're so
Mhm.
evenly matched that you're
Yeah,
watching like the fucking best fight ever. You know what I mean?
exactly. Yeah. Yeah. It's just that there's less. And so there's like, and it all, and so it always just kind of sticks out. Like, dude, if you think about it, how many cards have you watched with 2 dudes fighting where the fight blows? Every single solitary card, there's one fight where it sucks. Maybe it's 2
For
grapplers
instance,
and they're,
I think with the last one or the last couple UFC fights, Gilbert
yeah,
Burns and fucking Wonder Boy. That shit was such a boring
yeah.
fight. Like I
Oh, I
love Wonder
know.
Boy,
Yeah.
I love Burns, but like as a co-main event, bro, fucking Burns doesn't really promote himself like that. Wonder Boy's like kind of older, he really needed to win that. Wonder Boy's probably done at this point. But like,
Yeah.
dude, like that was a boring fight where like now it's like what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like you can't really do
And
anything from that.
exactly. And if it was 2 women fighting, everyone would have been like, dude, these fucking women need to stop fighting, bro. Like like it's not that. It just the women stick out more like when they fight because they're women and it's like not a normally a woman's sport. So, but like, yeah, dude, there's ass fights all the time. Like every card, there's one that I'm on my phone pounding beers and I look up and the fight's over and I'm like, oh, that was so boring. I didn't even notice the whole fight's done. That always happens.
Yeah, man. But real quick, so let's give our predictions. What do you think goes down Saturday night?
Um, I think it's gonna go. I think Jake Paul's gonna win, and I think you're gonna see him win when we see Tyron Woodley tire out.
Oh, I
I
like that.
think I think Tyron Woodley is a phenomenal fighter. I think he's out of his prime 100%. I think he's a little out of practice. I think he's not a boxer. And he could throw strikes, but if I'm correct, Tyron Woodley had a big wrestling game, right? He was a big wrestler too,
Yeah, I
or
mean, he
was
was
he
kind of
only a
like a
strike
mix. He has some
mixed
knockouts,
martial
has some
artist?
good.
Yeah,
He's just kind of
and
overall
it's
good.
going to make him very one-dimensional. I think why I said he's smart is he picks guys who we all know who Tyron Woodley is. We all have these memories of his fucking that goddamn overhand right just sleeping people. But he's like 39 now. He hasn't won in a while. I think you're going to see that I think what's the fight? 10 rounds or 8 rounds, however long it is. I think you're going to see if Jake, if it lasts long, that Tyron Woodley's cardio is going to really get him because it's just, I feel like he's out of practice. I could be wrong, but that's my prediction.
Okay, I like it. I'm very similar to you. I think as long as Jake Paul doesn't get fucking hit with like the biggest fucking haymaker out
Mm-hmm.
there, you know what I mean? I think Jake Paul wins, and I think he's gonna show that he can actually go the distance. And that's from what I've been seeing was he's been really saying like, bro, you haven't seen shit yet. I put both
Mm-hmm.
my fighters down, both my opponents down right away. Like, let me show you guys what I've been working on. So I think we kind of see like, oh shit, he might be something Saturday night. So I think Jake Paul wins. I think it goes the distance. As long
Yeah.
as he doesn't get hit with the fucking bazooka. I think
Yeah.
anything else, like if he gets hit with one of those, like, hey, it's just that's the sport. You know what I mean?
I think this will be the first fight. Like, I don't think I would bet money that it won't be a first round knockout. Like, I think this is the first fight where I think we're going to like actually have to see how technical of a boxer he is. Like, because I don't know. Nate Robinson was a god awful. Like, I truly don't believe that Nate Robinson has ever won a fight. And I'm talking street fights ever in his life. Like that fool can't throw. There's some people who can't throw a punch, bro. It's just not in them. And he was one of them. But like Ben Askren is a legit fighter, but Ben Askren also is a world-renowned fucking wrestler, like, or maybe not wrestler, but a ground guy. And he was old and out of shape, and he was also only in the UFC for like 3 fights. He was a Bellator guy his whole career, which, not taking anything away from Bellator, but it's a little different than a seasoned UFC vet like Tyron Woodley. So I think it's going to be the best fight yet. Like, I actually truly think that this is the fight worth tuning into if you haven't. And don't give them money. Stream it illegally. Fuck them.
Yeah, bro,
there's a
don't
million
fucking
ones.
ever buy any
Streamies,
fights
buff
ever.
streams, FBS stream. Use
Crack
those.
streams, buff
Crack streams. Fuck those guys. Don't give them money. Go stream that shit for free, but watch it and enjoy it. And then tweet at me how I'm right when he wins.
Yeah, man. Definitely. So we're gonna switch into our next segment before we take a quick break. It's like we call it our entertainment segment. Like I said earlier, it's not the best use of entertainment, but it's what I want to call it. So fuck it.
Fuck yeah, nah, dude. Fuck them. Call it what you want. I have a segment on my podcast where all we talk about is fucking desserts, and I feel like I'm not fat enough to be the guy who has a dessert segment on his podcast.
And you know, funniest thing, like I am fat enough to have a dessert section, but I fucking hate desserts. So, you know,
damn, bro. When you, because we'll have you. I was thinking about this. I want you to do my pod too. This is probably bad podcasting because we're just talking, but you guys can fucking sit there and listen to it. I'll have you on my pod in like a week or two, so they don't get tired of us. But you're gonna have to you're gonna have to do that segment, because what's the best part is I like to hear people's least favorite dessert, because it's fun to talk some shit, because there's some bullshit ass desserts out there that I can't believe people consume.
No,
but sorry to interrupt you.
No, but for real, like I 100% agree with that. There's some shit that people hype up that you're like, are you fucking kidding me? Do you don't even eat food? Do you have a taste bud? I'm a trash one right now. Turkish Delights. Do you know what the fuck those are? I don't even know what the fuck but it just sounds like some fucking
it's
shit.
Like a gel cube with like powdered sugar, but like the fruit cube is like, you know, like the bullshit artificial fruit flavor where you're like, bro, this doesn't taste like a strawberry. This tastes like a fake nasty preservative. That's what they taste like. And they're fucking gross, and the texture, and people are like, I want a dessert today. And that's what
I'm going to try to find the dessert that I dislike the most, and I will have it on your podcast.
Fuck yes. Okay.
I'm going to do it. I'm going to tell you what it is beforehand, so we'll both eat it in person.
Yes, because if I haven't had it, I'll find a way to get it so I can get angry at it when I don't like it.
Yes, let's do it.
All right, yeah. So let me get those questions.
All right, so the first question is, it doesn't have to be too long, anything like that, but just ideal, or I guess dream smoke sesh. Who do you have in it?
God, bro, that's a great fuck you for saying that this wasn't gonna be a good segment. That's a great. Wow, dude, at the start of this podcast, I declared I'm a stoner. I have never thought of this. Okay, let me ask this real quick. Can I have fake, like, can there be non-real people?
Like from a TV show, basically?
Yeah. Like, can I, okay.
We'll say pick three.
Okay, pick 3. All right, dude, I gotta go with Seth Rogen.
Definitely.
And like, I think I'm gonna exclude Snoop Dogg from this, because I know this sounds crazy, but like, I feel like Snoop Dogg and like Seth Rogen are like the token stoners, and dude, it's just the white dude in me. I love Snoop Dogg's music that I've heard. Like, I can't pretend that I know more than 3 Snoop Dogg songs. I can't pretend that I've ever downloaded a Snoop Dogg album, but I can tell you I've seen almost every Seth Rogen movie. So Seth Rogen, shit, dude. Give me Kelso from That 70s Show.
Okay.
I want like that exact version of them. And then
so are you guys, when you pick your third, whoever, are you guys doing the same smoke sesh like in the 70s Show, or the like?
Oh, can I pick the venue too of when I'm gonna smoke? Okay. Then I'm gonna take out Kelso, and I'm gonna put in Shaggy from Scooby-Doo.
Oh, wow.
And then I'm gonna do At the Basement of Eric Foreman's House, and that third person, Oh, I'm gonna make it a real person. I'm trying to think of not a basic answer because I could go easy and say like Tommy Chong or like Snoop Dogg or Wiz Khalifa or Two Chains. Something like you know who it would be? Hannibal Buress. Hannibal Buress is my final. I've seen him on a few like Getting High with Two Chains shit and on the end he just makes me laugh in a way, like in the way he speaks, like on the Eric Andre show and podcast. So yeah, Hannibal Buress, Seth Rogen, and Shaggy from Scooby-Doo at Eric Foreman's basement.
That's
my
fucking
ideal.
hilarious, dog. I
Yeah,
guess
that would it'd be perfect, bro.
that you can't go wrong with that one right there.
We got some mystery to talk about. We got Seth Rogen's movies. Hannibal Buress is just a fucking wild card. Like, and then just to be down there would be so cool. I don't know. That's my answer. Yeah.
No, that's fucking perfect right there, dog.
Mhm.
So the next question, if you can be on any fucking podcast, TV show, whatever you like, radio, like as a guest,
Yeah.
right? So not like you're not on the fucking guest of fucking on the episode of fucking Dave. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if you're a guest on any TV show, podcast, whatever you want to call it, who would that be?
If I could do any podcast, it would be Two Bears, One Cave. They don't have guests, I know, but they're my favorite podcast. If there was like a way I could do that, then my second choice would be Your Mom's House, which is Tom Segura and Christina Pazitsky's podcast. Because it's just like I'm such big fans of both those podcasts, so I would have fun. And I also, as a fan of it, I love when there's a person who comes on who's also a fan. So I think that it would be a fun episode and people would enjoy it. TV show, I would want to be on, if I could go back in time, being on like a great episode of like Breaking Bad would be sick, or like a great episode of The Walking Dead. I know the show's kind of shit now. I actually still watch it. I've seen every episode. I watch them when they come out. At this point, Mark, look, dude, like 2 seasons ago, I was like, yo, this shit sucks. But I've already watched 8 seasons of it and invested. So I started watching the first episode I saw of that show. I was going into high school. So like I've been watching it forever. So it's the last season. I'm going to be honest. If it wasn't the last season, I don't know how much more I could do, but I'm like, let me see this shit to the end. So like, I don't know, being in an early one of those would have been cool. Or like, I would love to have been in an episode of Parks and Rec, because that's my favorite sitcom ever is Parks and Rec. So if I could have been in like any form or any episode, like it would have been so fun to be like the sidekick for Burt Macklin in an episode or something like that. That would be my choice for those. Those are my choices.
I fucking love Tom Segura. I love Parks and Rec. So those are all fucking great picks. Just a quick question. Do you watch Flagrant 2?
Flagrant 2. I have seen probably like 7 episodes. I'm a huge Andrew Schultz fan. For like it's an early plug, but of my Your Last Review food things that I do every so often, it's I didn't steal from him. I had this idea for a while, but I do have to pay homage to like me sitting next talking to a picture. Andrew Schultz kind of blew that shit up with his, turn the phone sideways. I really am adamant that I didn't look at that and be like, that's what I'm going to do. But it would be wrong of me not to pay homage. And dude, I mean, before I ever watched stand up and ever wanted to be a comedian, Guy Code was fucking so sick, dude. Guy Court, all those shit was so dope. So his podcast is fun though.
Yeah, no, definitely. So last question. If you had to be in the studio with one rapper, dead or alive, and you don't have to be rapping, just be in the studio with, who would that be?
I'm going to give a basic answer here, but I'd have to say Kendrick. And I'm sure that a lot of people would say that, but Kendrick is my favorite artist. Like he's my favorite artist. And like, I don't know, I feel like hanging in, it would be so like, okay, so here's what I'm all over the place. Here's what I'm fascinated by when I listen to music and artists, and anyone who's like a creative can relate to this. Like what in any form, you're creative with these podcasts, comedy for me. When you see someone at the top of their game, the way they come up with shit, like if you just like listen, I know he is a producer, but I'm sure he's very hands-on. The way he comes up with like think of Damn, like the one song where it begins with the backwards lyrics and then like the music videos, or like To Pimp a Butterfly, like the Harlem Renaissance influence and jazz tunes he brought into that. Like, how does one person think of that? Or like even the catchy ad libs and the bridges. I can't fathom, because I could, as creative as I think of myself, I'm like, I could never come up with that. So seeing something like that, but now, like, I bet it would be really fun to be in the studio with like Schoolboy Q. I'm a big TDE guy, so like I bet like Schoolboy Q would be more of a party, more drinking, more smoking, fun time. He always see him playing games. Like, I'd love to run a game of Madden with Q and see if I could beat him. So that'd be like my more fun answer. But if I only got one, for sure, Kendrick, just because, like, what an opportunity to see the greatest, one of the greatest of all times, the greatest of our generation work like that. So I'm gonna go with Kendrick.
No, definitely, bro. I think that's not as basic as you would think, bro. Like, I'm going even, if I had to answer that question, I'd go even more fucking basic, like with the basic of basic answers, and say fucking Kanye. But that's just because I'm so fucking, like, the way my brain works is like,
Yeah.
I like connect to Kanye and like, bro, I have to have things fucking perfect. And if they're not, like, even if it goes totally fucking perfect, like the result, like, I'm still not like okay with that. You know what I mean?
Satisfied. Yeah.
Yeah, like, it's just something like I don't know how to fucking I'm not gonna change it, like,
Yeah. Yeah. Of course.
it's just fucking, like, I just don't know how it was put there, just got there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude. Could you imagine being in the studio with Kanye during like Yeezus, watching him create that weird? I love Yeezus. It's one of my favorite Kanye albums. I know it's weird, but like, it's like to watch him come up to, like, when you probably first heard, I forget what's like on site, the way it starts, like when he got in the booth, you'd be like, this motherfucker's lost his mind, and he would spit it, and you'd be like, dude, this is the hardest shit I've ever heard. Like, it's so weird, but so good. So that's a good answer. That one would be, it honestly even be fun to like watch him be crazy now. Like, it wouldn't be as fun to be around, but to go in there and watch insane Kanye work would also be honestly just as entertaining.
Because the reason why, like, I pick Kanye, and I'm really a big Kanye guy, like, I don't give a fuck. Like, people are like, look, Kanye is in the same fucking boat as Elon Musk. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's a fucking billionaire, right? There's not many fucking billionaires out there. So the fact that he's crazy is because we don't understand, like, how they act. And a lot of people talk shit on Elon as well because they don't know, like, who the fuck is this guy? He fucking has a lot of money. Like, bro, really, Kanye is fucking filthy rich. And it's not just because of whatever, born into or anything like that. He's really, like, built that whole empire up to what he is now. So it's like, to have that is fucking nuts, but also, like, he's a fucking genius, like, he is, like, the way he thinks, is like, he doesn't think for the now, he thinks for the future. And like, that's fucking nuts in a way. Like, he could even process that, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just a fucking crazy thing to think about. And like, also, like, if you think at historical terms, like, bro, he has to be one of the most controversial, like, humans, like, ever to exist. And you think about how many people know who he is, just like, you know what I mean?
No, yeah, of course. Yeah, he's world. There's definitely, like, I mean, if you look, like, no one that's really like that famous is ever that normal. Like, I mean, if you look, I mean, like Johnny Depp's really fucking weird, and he's like a very famous actor. I mean, you look in music with Kanye, he's fucking crazy. Tom Brady's honestly weird. He kisses his fucking kids on the mouth. Like, that motherfucker's weird as hell. But they're all the best at what they do in some capacity. And maybe it's just something that comes with, maybe it's not that they're crazy, it's just that we don't get it. And it's not something you get until you're at that level.
Nah,
that
definitely.
Other people are going to think you're crazy. I don't know.
But off that, we're going to leave it with that crazy talk right now. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we're talking my boy Brandon's favorite football team, the Philadelphia Eagles, and what he thinks they're going to do this year, as well as we're going to talk everything that Brandon has going on, including his comedy tour, or not really tour, but what he has going on, and then Your Last Resort podcast. So make sure you guys stay put, and we'll be right back.
Yeah, keep fucking listening.
Use promo code SIDELINE10 to receive 10% off all of your graphic design needs, logos, pictures, business cards, anything that you need, contact Matthew Cifuentes at Matt2Siffy. Welcome back. I'm sitting right here with the one and only Slim Shady. Nah, I'm just kidding. It's Brandon Legendre, and we got a good conversation going on. We're talking about a little bit of Lil Dicky Dave, the TV show. We're talking Jake Paul earlier, and we're also talking about how he would sit down with Seth Rogen, Hannibal Buress, and who was that? Shaggy
from Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, and that would be his dream smoke sesh right there. So
beautiful.
Now we're gonna talk some NFL. The
Yep.
football, the sports podcast. So, dude, what's up with your Eagles, man? You think you guys got a team? You think you guys are gonna be shit? You think you guys are gonna be less shit than last year? What do you think?
We're gonna be pretty bad this year. I have no doubt about that. But here's the thing, dude. They're going to be bad. They won, I think, 5 games last year. I actually think they'll win more than 5 just because the division's not great and there's other teams that they'll play that aren't very good. But, like, I have very low expectations for them. I mean, we're paying 15% of our salary, $30 million to Carson Wentz to play for another team. And that sucks. But it had to be done. Next year, they owe him like $200,000 and then they owe him no more. So like they did a good job getting it. And honestly, it's one of those things where this year is probably going to be one of the more fun years for me to watch because I have no expectations of them to win a Super Bowl. There's no chance. There's no chance they'll win the Super Bowl. Unfortunately, they're going to have a chance to win the division because it's the NFC East and that division's such dog shit. Dak's banged up still. I mean, the football team is Ryan Fitzpatrick, who's just, you never know what you're going to get. And the Giants they're the Giants. They have their crazy coach.
Saquon,
Daniel Jones can't hold on to the ball. Saquon's made of fucking glass. So it's going to suck, Mark, because here's what's going to happen. They're going to be fucking like 7-9 going into week 17, and they're gonna have a chance to win the division at like 8-9, and I'm gonna be so invested, and they're gonna lose. They're gonna rip my heart out, and it's gonna fucking suck. But I think they'll be good. And here's the underlying fact: whatever happens this year, it'll be fun to see Hurts, fun to see Devontae Smith, and fun to see some of the other young guys. And next year, they're gonna have the Eagles' first round pick, which should be shitty. They're gonna have the Dolphins' first round pick, which I think will be like between like 12 and 18. And then they're going to have the Colts first round pick as long as Carson Wentz plays 70% of snaps. Otherwise, it's a second round pick, but he's already back at practice. He's set to play. That he's the starter. As long as he stays healthy, they're going to get a pick for that too. So they're going to have 3 first round picks and like 40 million in cap space next year. So it sucks that I know that this year is going to suck because, dude, both of us, we're spoiled fans. The Steelers haven't had a losing season in 18 years. The Eagles are like top 5 in like most winning seasons in the last 30 years. We're not used to our teams being shitty. So it's going to be an adjustment for me for sure.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm a big fan of Hurts. I think he's like, as a former player, bro, we played with some, pretty good ass teammates before, and like the teammates that we usually like respect the most are like Jalen Hurts. You know what I mean? Come in, like put the work in, talk the shit with the team, and like they know how to they're like 3 different people all built into one. And like I really respect that from him. Like the first one on the field, last one off the field. He's really cool with his teammates. He knows what to say to the higher ups. Knows what to say to the fans. Like, bro, like he is an ideal quarterback. I hope it works out for you guys with them. I know there was some like Deshaun Watson talks, maybe trading him.
I don't listen, man. If he's innocent, give me that motherfucker immediately. Now, if he's not, naughty boy, send him to jail. I don't care.
Yeah.
But if he's available, give him all 3 first round picks. That dude is a top 5 quarterback on arguably the worst team in the NFL, the worst ran team in the NFL by far.
Bro, fucking people go like, bro, you like really like you ran down JJ Watt. Like,
Yeah, kicked DeAndre Hopkins. You trade DeAndre Hopkins for a fucking napkin.
a sack of potatoes, really.
Yeah, bro, a new washing machine. Shit's ridiculous, dude. They let their head coach also be the GM. What kind of Hitler power trip bullshit is that? And look at anything in history. When has it been a great job when you made a guy like a double leader? It always ends so fucking great. That dude got taken advantage of by to not get multiple first round picks for DeAndre Hopkins is absurd. To get a second rounder and fucking David Johnson.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here, bro. That fool was ruined that franchise for the next 10 years. And I say ruined it because if they didn't trade Hopkins and they weren't so shitty, Watson wouldn't want to leave and you would have a franchise quarterback for the next 20 years.
And you would have some like, oh no, I want to go play with the Texans. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They got some ballers out there.
He's a national champion winner. He's a winner, bro.
But wasn't Tyron on the Texans as well for a year? Or
yeah, he was, right? Was he?
Because he left when Tyron left.
Who was he on first?
Fuck, I'm going blank with it. I know he was in the down south.
Because
I'll have to look it up.
You're right. He was on the Texans, and then he went to the Cardinals, and then now he's on the Chiefs, right?
I'm looking it up right now.
Yeah, look it up because this is gonna. I literally can't remember where he played at. That's weird. I can't believe. Yeah.
Yeah, 2018 in Houston.
Okay. Yeah.
89 tackles, fucking 2 picks, 19. Yeah, like bro, 3 sacks. Yeah, bro had a fucking fantastic year in Houston.
Is that who he started with? Was Houston?
No, he started with Arizona 2013.
Okay, Arizona.
For about 5 years. And then, bro, he's already coming on. Damn, he's been there for a minute.
Yeah.
But yeah, bro, like, yeah, it's tough. You know, like we're kind of on the opposite situation with you. Like we have a really fucking good team. It's just we're like at the offensive line, like we're kind of like question marks right now. But also like fuck, can Ben get the job done? You know,
dude. It's not that like, okay, so like Derek Carr, I'm like, yo, Raider fans, there's no chance he gets it done. What are you doing? Big Ben's different. Like, I don't think that they should move on from Ben. Or I'm sure he's going to be done in like a year or two, and that's when they move on. But like, I don't blame them for not moving on for Ben because Ben can still sling it, and like he's still a guy who can get you to the playoffs. But you just don't know what Ben you're going to get, especially because he's old now. And your division is really good. It's not the cakewalk that it was for years. Like. I mean, the Ravens were good in like the 2010, like when Flacco was there for a little. And then, of course, like, you know, Ray Lewis and them. But like the last like 10 years, it's been your division to lose.
Well, I mean, yes, it's always been our division to lose. We've had challenges. I mean, the Browns get the fuck out of here. I know they beat us last year in the playoffs, but get the fuck out.
They haven't been good since this year.
Yeah, you haven't been relevant. It was really a toss-up between the Ravens and Bengals because I don't know if you remember the mid-2010s, you know, like
Dalton with AJ Green.
Like they had a nice AJ Green, fucking
Tyler
Vontaze Burfict was fucking killing people, fucking killing AB fucking CTE.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like shit like that, you know, we've always had it's really been great fucking defense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and we were usually the team with the best offense. So now, like, we flipped it. So, like, we have probably, like, I've biases, of course, you know what I mean? But, like, we have probably the best defense, like, overall defense in the NFL. Like, I'll take our defense over. Like, we're leading. Like, we just need a team that, like, our offense just has to control the ball. We fucking have so many 3-and-outs. Like, it's so fucking, like, furious watching our games. Like, our defense will go fucking sack fucking Lamar Jackson 2 times and then fucking force the Ravens in a 3-and-out, which they never have a fucking 3-and-out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
And then run the ball fucking twice, and it's fucking 3rd and 9, and then have to throw a fucking 1 second, 1 yard fucking hitch to fucking Juju, and then watch him try to break 4 tackles. And you know what I mean? Like that was our offense. So now we brought a new OC in. You know what I mean? Matt Canada. He's trying to open up things. We got some weapons. You know, brought Najee Harrison, which I think is going to
be
fucking
a beast,
help so much. But yeah, you know what I mean? It's just I like look at of course we're a playoff team, like roster wise, coaching wise, It's just a matter of fact, like, are we a Super Bowl team? And I think for that to happen, everything has to click. And like when we play the Chiefs, we're good. When we play the Ravens, we're good. You know what I mean? Like the teams we're supposed to beat to get to the Super Bowl, I'm not worried about. It's like, but it's the teams that like maybe we're favored in. Like we come out and play like shit every fucking year. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, I know we'll be
I
like above 800, 500, but it's like,
uh-huh.
all right, am I gonna get invested every fucking year again and then watch us lose in the first round? You know what I mean? Like that's where I've been the past couple
Yeah.
years.
Yeah, they kind of need that like that Flacco cocktail where you get hot just at the right time. I mean, gee, like as much shit as like, I mean, goddamn, Flacco is fucking awful now. I can tell you firsthand as him being our backup, but like Flacco's 2012 playoff run is arguably the greatest playoff run from a quarterback in NFL history. I mean, there's very few other performances and like stats you can find that like, dude, I think it's something crazy. Like he threw he threw like 26 touchdowns, had 0 interceptions, threw for like almost 2,000 yards in like 4 playoff games. So you got to have that kind of like run, I suppose, like you were saying. But yeah, like you said, you're that playoff team that has to get all cylinders, like all the train moving on all the same wheels to get into the Super Bowl, which is it's fun, but it always kind of sucks because they seem to mostly fall short because that's how the Eagles were for years. I
Yeah,
completely
no, I'm
understand.
trying to look at the fucking teams they beat on that run to win the Super Bowl. I mean, just they beat fucking Kaepernick and that
Mhm.
Niners team, which was very much the same thing going on. Like he took over so late in the year that like people were like, "Yo, what the fuck?" That was when
Yeah.
like NCAA football was like, you're just running the read option every fucking game.
Yeah, and NFL offense defenses were like, "How do we stop the read option?"
Yeah, so like Cap was just like throwing for like a buck 50 and then rushing for a buck
Mhm.
50. You're just like, all right, it's OP. Like we can't get this shit done. So like they beat them. I know they beat fucking Denver in Denver.
Yeah.
With they had Manning there. I want to say, did they beat Tom Brady as well that on that run?
I mean,
Wasn't there a
yes,
missed
dude,
field
it was
goal
the
in there
first
somewhere?
game. Remember Ray Rice had like first play of the game had like a 75-yard touchdown. That was back before he was beating the shit out of people, or maybe he was in the still beating the shit out of people then.
Yeah,
But
in the
but
elevator.
he was,
Right.
yeah. Yeah, dude, I'm pretty sure like that they played him, and I think it was some like really high scoring. I think they played him the first week.
I'm gonna tell you the fucking so they go through the fucking Colts with Andrew fucking Luck.
Wow.
They beat fucking Denver with Peyton Manning in Denver. Then they
Yeah.
beat fucking New England in New England to go to the ship, and then they beat the Niners, bro. That's a fucking run right there. Like when you talk
Yeah,
about the historical like quarterbacks and like all that runs, like that is probably one of the best runs to do what they did.
yeah, Flacco's not a Hall of Famer. Flacco's not one of the greatest of all times. Flacco's not GOAT status, but that season by Flacco is legendary and has to go down as one of the best playoff runs from a quarterback. Obviously, like Peyton Manning's season with the 55 touchdowns is probably the best ever by a quarterback, but you got to give him fucking credit for just yeah, it was crazy because
Imagine
we were
being
old enough to
Flacco.
remember that too.
Imagine
That
being
Super Bowl.
Flacco like 20 years from now, like fucking seeing, everybody talk about fucking Brady and Peyton Manning, and you're just like,
Yeah,
yeah, I fucking put my nuts on them in 2012, and just scratching his
yeah.
head with the fucking ring, you know what I mean? Like,
I know it's your podcast, but I got a question for you.
what's
Do you
up?
think Eli Manning's a Hall of Famer?
Yes.
I think he is too. It just doesn't help that he has more losses than wins and the amount of interceptions, but I don't know. I mean, if Tom Brady's the best to beat him twice
And
and to win
to beat him when like you like,
as the
bro,
wild card.
Eli fucking I'm gonna take this comparison. Eli fucking Manning is fucking Captain America. All right. He
Yeah, yeah,
fucking
he
beat
is.
fucking Thanos. He
They were
got the
eight and
job
eight,
fucking.
bro. 8-8 wild card team beat this at the time 18-0 Patriots, 16-0 on the season. going for the first undefeated season in forever, way more longer and harder than the Dolphins won, and at 8-8 they upset it, and just the crazy things that happen in those Super Bowls. I don't know how you don't give Eli Manning love. I understand if he's maybe not a first ballot Hall of Famer or a unanimous Hall of Famer, but at some point he deserves to be in there.
Because people like to look at stats. I get it. Like stats are like the facts, but also like what are facts too? Or like, bro, like being like ex players, you know what I mean? Of course, not at that level, but like being ex players, like when you could get the job fucking done, bro, you're good in my book. Like he got the job done fucking twice. And when he got the Giants to the playoffs, and yeah, it wasn't every year. Yeah, they didn't make a run every year, but to do what he did, to go against like I said, fucking Thanos, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
You beat fucking Thanos twice. So Eli Manning, you're good in my book, to live in Peyton's shadow as well. Like, bro, like you can't have fucking a two-time, like you can't, like if you have Tom Brady, the GOAT in the Hall of Fame, which no question, like not even
unanimous as soon as it's
first
5 years.
Like to say he's the greatest of all time, you can't have a quarterback that beat him twice, like in the Super Bowl, like not, you know what I mean? Like as almost like the rest of the NFL should be like thanking Eli because you know what I mean. Tom would already have 2 more rings.
Exactly. Yeah, that's always crazy to think. I think he deserves it. Dude, is Troy Aikman's a Hall of Famer, right?
Yeah.
Bro, listen, I know this is gonna sound like I'm being like just an Eagles fan. Cowboys fans, Troy Aikman is a bum. Listen, this is a guy that I like to shit on. I have his stats pulled up. You want to hear what a Hall of Famer stats were? Bro, they won the Super Bowl in 90 or 89, right? Okay, ready? Here's a great one, dog. He was a Pro Bowler in 1991, and his stats were he threw for 2,700 yards, 11 touchdowns, and 10 interceptions. That is a Hall of Famer. You want to go a little further? His best season, he only threw 23 touchdowns and still had 15 interceptions. He was a Pro Bowler in 96, 12 touchdowns, 13 interceptions on the season. And he's a Hall of Famer. If Eli Manning is not a Hall of Famer, wrap me up in bacon, slap some spice on me, and call me a fucking jalapeno popper, because that's some bullshit, bro. If he's not I hate Troy Aikman. Troy Aikman's a bum, and the fact that he's a Hall of Famer.
He's the white Jay-Z, dog. You gotta look. You gotta look at him,
guy.
bro. He looks like Jay-Z, but just the Caucasian version of him. Like
I'm looking at
I will send you the picture after, and like,
bro, shut the fuck up. He does. You're right. He's got like the Jay-Z like lips and like face, like his face wrinkles the same way when they smile. That's
like
crazy.
If you gave him like a fucking fade, or like, well, I don't know, Jay-Z has the whole whatever fucking hairdo he has right now. But if you have like Jay-Z 2004 fade, like taper fade, like, bro, and you gave that to Troy Aikman, they're cousins.
He does look like him. Oh man, he's hilarious.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the one thing I really wanted to I was just fucking had it on the tip of my tongue right now.
That happens to me.
Oh, bro. Okay, yeah. So we all know how fucking kickers aren't football players, but like for somebody like fucking, so this like what I dislike is people who were like, oh, he doesn't belong in the Hall of Fame, bro. The fucking kicker from the Patriots,
Janet Kaus.
From the Patriots went to the Colts. No.
Vinatieri.
Verjak, not Verjak. Fucking, that's for basketball.
Adam Vinatieri.
Adam Vinatieri.
Yeah.
Like, bro, the people saying he's not a fucking Hall of Famer, bro.
Dude,
bro,
get the fuck out of here. He's the leading scorer in the NFL.
Your take should not even be included in anything, bro. Like,
also, it's kind of fucking like if it's because he's a kicker, then like, okay, let's just make the Hall of Fame fucking quarterbacks, wide receivers, running backs, and then the exceptions like Brian Dawkins and Ray Lewis. Because otherwise, like, yeah, bro, you think, yeah, dude, they give it to O linemen, like, and I love O linemen. I have nothing but respect for them, but like, there's not any stats to back it up in a sense, especially like in like the 80s when they didn't keep really any stats. And like, no one no one ever is like, thank God, so and so got in, unless you're a real fan of football. But they deserve it because there's linemen that dominate the game. And so, like, to not allow a kicker in, bro, 3 points is 3 points. You know how many games that man won? You know how many clutch situations he had? He has the most point. No quarterback, running back, or receiver has ever scored more points than that man. He has one job, and it's to kick a ball through a upright post, and he was the best at it. So if we're not going to allow him in the Hall of Fame, then he's a kicker, then, like, okay, just say you're never going to allow a kicker in.
No, for real. Like, bro, I get the Hall of Fame committee is one thing, but like when you have like people like Stephen A. Smith or like, like football, like we're not even football, like analysts, they're like, oh, he doesn't belong, bro. Who the fuck? Like, bro, like I get, even if they played NFL football and they're saying like you're just being fucking a hater, you know what I mean? Like, stop being a fucking hater. Like the person I hate the most talking about basketball, and like, yes, he's like considered like maybe an all-time great and whatever. Fucking Paul Pierce can't fucking respect.
That fool's a cocksucker, bro.
He is so fucking hateful of LeBron that he will say shit like, "Oh, LeBron's not like a top 10 player." Like, bro, what the fuck? Like, you just like, you know what I mean? Like, some people like,
yeah,
that.
dude. It's like, look, I get you got to have hot takes to sell, and if you want to be like, I don't think LeBron this year is a top 10 player anymore because there's all these young guys. Okay, that's an interesting take. Still probably wrong.
Yeah.
But to just be like, he's not dude, I can't. I used to like Stephen A. Smith too. Stephen A. Smith, Skip Bayless, Paul Pierce, dude, even even sometimes like Charles Barkley and like some of these other people, like, it's just, I can't stand them because it's all just clickbait bullshit. It's what the news turned into, where the news went from being like someone's murdered to like top 5 funniest cat videos to watch on YouTube. It's annoying, dude. I like, dude, if I turn on the TV and I want to watch Sports Center and First Take is on, I'd rather listen to my own thoughts in silence than hear whatever the fuck they're gonna say to me, bro. It's ass. I hate them. I fucking can't stand all of those type, whatever you want to call. Dude, you know who's another one I can't stand? He was cool, but he's so corny now. It's like Emmanuel Acho.
Yeah.
That fool's corny as hell now, bro. He was cool and he's an ex-Eagle and I fuck with him. But someone tweeted the funniest thing, and sorry I'm getting off fucking topic, but someone tweeted the funniest thing where he like put out a video about something that was kind of random, and everyone was like, someone said, dog, you're so good at talking slow and enunciating shit like it actually fucking matters. And I was like, that's exactly what it is. He goes, here's the deal with Sha'Carri Richardson. Yeah. What? And it's like, dude, you're not even saying anything. You're just pausing between words like it's this philosophical thing. So I can't.
And not everything's philosophical. People. Not everything's
exactly, meaning, bro.
Like for that whole case, bro. Like, look, bro. She had rules to follow, bro. And if you don't follow those rules, like, is the rule stupid? Yes, it's fucking completely stupid. But you like don't hate it. Don't hate the game, or don't
hate the player, hate the game.
Yeah, or what's the fucking or if you can't do the time, don't do the crime. You know what I mean?
Be mad at the rule, not the person. Like, not like, don't be like, be mad at like the, I get what I'm trying to, it's the same thing where it's like, dude, like half this podcast has been about how I like to smoke weed. You think I was like naughty girl, but hey, you know what I did the entire time I played Division I football? Not smoke weed during season, because you get drug tested and then you fail and you can't be a part of it. And dude, I totally get, her mother passed away. That's a hard thing that like I can't relate to, and losing a family member is such a terrible thing. But you know what's not banned to numb the pain? Alcohol. And I get that, like, dude, I don't like alcohol as much as I like weed. I get it. But like in that situation, if one is going to cost you your Olympic dream and one is going to let you grieve, go with the other one. We can feel sad for her. We can go, that sucks. And we can say that the rule needs to change, but it's not like they didn't single her out personally.
And it's not an American rule either. It's not like people were
Yeah.
trying to like, rules need to change in America, bro. That's an Olympic rule. Like, there's different countries. Like, bro, there's countries where you smoke weed, like, bro, you're going to hell.
You
You know what I
die.
mean?
You die. Like they kill
Yeah.
you. They like stone you in the streets. And that's their rules. Like it's, you know what's funny, Mark, is it's a very American viewpoint to have, is that like the whole situation is that we're just upset because we don't like the rules of another country. Like they're doing it in Japan. She knew these rules.
Yeah.
Again, I'm on her side that this sucks, but she knew the rules. They were there. It's like I'll have people like we plan shit now and they're like, "Oh, like I'm backing out cuz I'm scared of COVID and like I need my money back." And it's like, "Hey, motherfucker, like 3 weeks ago when we planned this shit, I don't know if you knew about this, but COVID was still a fucking thing. Like it's not new. You knew about it. That's not an excuse." And so yeah, it was it's all
I mean, it's
messy,
just a lot of things out there. People just, it's easier to disagree and easier to make a big old scene than just to follow certain rules. And like I said, bro, like it's not about, I'm not hating on her. Like I think she's fucking like amazing for what she can
Oh,
be.
totally,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? Like she can like, fucking, I don't know about anymore losing, taking ninth, but
She
but
got worked, son. Worked.
she can recover. She can, continue. And like, I have no problem. Like, if, people are like, oh, she smokes weed, she shouldn't be on, bro, shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? Like, look, if
Bro,
she
here's
get the job done, bro, I'll put her on a box of Wheaties.
bro, it doesn't. Okay, listen. And this is an actual fair moment where I think that my stance has 100% merit. Like, it's not. For those who don't know, I led the state of California in sacks my sophomore year of junior college. And I'm not saying this to flex, but that's a pretty goddamn good accomplishment.
Yep.
I had 13 and a half. One guy had 14, but he played 2 more playoff games than me. So that shit doesn't count.
Yeah.
13 and a half sacks. I led the state. I smoked weed after every fucking game. I smoked weed during the week. I did all that shit and I led the state in sacks. That shit did not affect me, but also it did not enhance my performance. I wasn't faded out there getting sacked. It's so dumb that anyone acts like it has negative effects on any of that shit.
Bro, that
Kiss
was
my
like
ass.
that was like over 70% of the team as well. So
Exactly, bro.
you know what I mean? So it was
nah,
like,
exactly.
we
Bro,
won
and
the
yeah.
conference partaking in that, like shout
Dog,
out.
I know guys in the NFL that I've smoked weed with. I won't say names, but like I know NFL people I've smoked weed. I know like, dude, it's so funny. Like I know fools who are getting into politics that I smoked weed with in high school that I know did cocaine in college. Like, come on, bro. Just it's so annoying.
Yeah, like if people like try to put on a perfect image for themselves. Like I look, like I partake in different whatever takes, whatever it was you want to call it. But like I learned when I was working we worked at the observatory. I put you on a couple times, bro. How crazy were those bathrooms? You know what I mean?
Dude,
like
insane. Cocaine, ecstasy, drugs, weed, every goddamn thing in there.
Yeah, and it's like from whether it looks like we had rock concerts where it looked like fucking English and science teachers were attending.
Yeah, it was their one night
out
off
of their mind. Compared to like not a Travis Scott concert, but like just different, like a younger artist.
Dude,
like
Vince Staples to reggae to EDM. Dude, we had that one motherfucker who was a YouTuber who just sang like a fruity ass cover song. My bitch is bad and bougie. Like he was just saying shit like that, bro. Like, and though all those 18-year-olds were like, I'm fucking tweaking off the molly, bro. Sing me that goddamn song. Like, fucking knocked my AirPod out. I got too excited right there.
Yeah, man. Fucking yeah, man. So like, bro, people just need to stay in their own lane. Don't be fucking. Don't be what was a sideline watching. If you're a sideline
mind
watcher,
your fucking
you just
business
from the sideline. Like, look, bro, don't be doing that. You know what I mean? If you're on the sideline and you're like doing everything everybody else is doing, and you're putting people on, bro, like continue to do that. You know what I mean? Like, stay in your lane. Like, bro, people just like to hate. People just like to put 100%. Like I'm in the business of putting people up. Like you can make two options. You know what I mean? You can put people down, and like there's a difference between putting like the Eagles as an organization down and then putting like Jalen Hurts down. You know what I mean? You want to
Yeah.
hate on Jalen Hurts as a performer, yeah, you can do that, but don't fucking hate on the person. You know what I mean? Unless he's a shitty person. You know, like I'd rather put
Exactly.
people on a pedestal and promote them and like say they're doing good things and just say like there's people that are literally in the business just to hate on people.
Which is corny. There's nothing more corny than that shit. I don't get it, dude. I like you said, just don't be a hater.
Don't be a hater. So,
Yeah.
with that being said, we're going to transition into the
Yeah.
life of Brandon Legendre. You know, so Brandon, man, I know you got this podcast going. I know you got this whole comedy scene going, but
Mm-hmm.
like, where did it start from, bro? Like, what was your intentions for everything?
Well, okay, I've definitely always been someone that the thing that I get from people, and I don't think this is not like why I started comedy, but growing up, it was always like, bro, like, oh, you're really funny. And then, of course, from the girls, you're nice and you're funny and like nothing you ever want to hear. And then even like teammates, like one of the biggest things I got at Murray is like, dude, I get it. I know what I look like. I know that I look like a nerdy, goofy white dude. I know that I don't like once you get to know me, you're like, oh, he's not like that. But I know what I look like. I'm aware. And so I constantly would always get like, bro, man, I thought you were just some corny, weird ass white boy, but you funny as fuck, bro. So
Yeah.
like, I know people told me I'm funny, and then I got really into podcasts in college, and I started listening to comedy podcasts, and I listened to them enough that one day I remember I was bored in study hall at Murray State, and I was like, what if I could write a joke? Like, would I even know how? And I tried, and then I was like, then I wrote a few more. None of them were good. I don't tell a single one of them. I would be embarrassed to tell any of them. But like all of a sudden, I was like, I have a couple jokes. And then it was like, what if I could get up? And then I finally got up and I was like, oh fuck, I like this. Like I'm a fan of this. And I got up one time before my senior year of college football, and then I didn't go up till after. So I didn't really start till after, but I got that feeling of it. And like my whole senior year, I wanted to be a comic. Like that was the full plan. And my friends knew, but I actually told no one on my team because I was embarrassed about it. I was worried that people would start to be like, oh, fucking tell me a joke, funny guy, and all that shit. So I that's why I got into it, dude. And then I got addicted to like making people laugh and like the grind of getting up and getting better, and it's fun, dude. And I know that I understand that it's a like a pipe dream, and it's dreaming big and all that, but it's what I want to do. And it's something I've never told a lot of people this, and I've told my girlfriend, but I don't know why, but for some reason in my mind, I believe that I'm supposed to do something bigger than just work a 9 to 5. That might be arrogant, it might be stupid, and we might be able to laugh at this in 20 years if I'm working at Enterprise Rent a Car. But I don't know. There was something always in me that I've never ever really thought about having a normal job. I want to be a football player. I want to be a rapper. I want to be a boxer. I wanted to be a fucking comic now. Like I've had millions of dreams. And yeah, dude, I just like it. And it helps that I've, like how football, like when you first started playing football, like obviously people right away were like, oh, you're kind of good at this. Like people are like, oh, you're kind of good at comedy. So then it stuck, dude. And now, I'm coming up on 2 years in December, but it's a weird 2 years. Like 9 of those months I was locked inside because of quarantine. Another 3 of those months I was performing at park mics with no fucking microphone, like bullshit like that. But dude, I just love it. And it's fun, like meeting people, the grind, making people like, God damn, is it a shitty feeling when no one laughs? But like, bro, I went to a show last night and I had a good set at this bar, and like, I'm still riding high from it. Like the highs from it are awesome. The lows from it suck. But that's kind of how I got into it, is I just podcasts, trying it out. And then I just got more into comedy, and like, I just have fallen in love with everything comedy.
Yeah, bro. Like to touch back on your belief that you need to be bigger than a 9 to 5. Like, bro, I'm the same way, dog. Like, it's not I mean, it is like it's a selfish like view, because like I am
Yeah.
selfish about myself. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I want myself to be the most like I want to do what I want to do. You know what I mean? Like if I'm not ever gonna to take it back and playing football, bro. Like you know how much shit I talked on the daily basis. You know what I mean? No matter if you were fucking a DN, a corner, like how many times did I get into it with my boy Pat? You know what I mean?
All the time, bro.
All the time. And was it out of a hateful fucking place? No. Like some of it with Jason Jones was out of a hateful place because that motherfucker was my kryptonite. But, like every time, bro, like I just like I view myself, and it's not like I'm viewing myself better than other people. It's just I view myself as I view myself a certain way. You know what I mean? I know what I'm capable of. I know what I can do, and I know how like when amongst people, like I can be more than like a 9 to 5. You know, like a
no, I totally get you. It's a weird thing to try and explain to other people because I think I'm not hating on these people by any means. I think there's people that just they're gonna be born and they're gonna go to school and they're gonna graduate and they're gonna get a job of something that somewhat interests them and they're gonna get married and they're gonna have kids and that's the fulfillment that they need in their life. But I'm someone who I don't know if I want to have kids 100%. I don't like, but I just know that what I like, I don't want to like, it's just, yeah, like you said, I just feel like there's something else like that I'm supposed to do. And
don't know what it is. Don't know what field I like the sports media. I like them like kind of like expressing yourself, your own beliefs, your own opinions. Like I'm somebody that like, as you know, like I don't have the sheep mentality. Like I do what everybody else does, you know, like try to do my own carve my own lane, carve my own path. And like if anybody wants to follow that path, or if I ever, you know, go down a path that somebody's been down, like bro, I do my own shit, you know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
Like I'll pick and choose different things I like that I don't like, you know what I mean? Like that's how you should conduct yourself, you know. You shouldn't just clone somebody and you shouldn't just follow people just to follow. Like if you want to do something, like make sure that really means something to you, you know, like don't just do it just to do it, you know what I mean?
Exactly. Because here's my thing. Maybe I'm never anything in comedy. Maybe I don't even ever land a write, because like I want to be a stand-up comic. I want to be like on Tom Segura's level, like Bill Burr. Like that's what I want to be. But I understand that not everyone gets here. But even if I was just a successful touring comic who like writes on a lot of shows and shit, like that's when I say I think that I was meant to do something different. And here's the thing. If I moved out here to Austin and comedy fails and at 30, I'm not a comic anymore and I'm out of options, dude, who gives a fuck? Then I'll go work at fucking Enterprise, rent a car, and hate my life. But at least I hated my life 10 years less than you did, which is
like my career job, if nothing works, is I'm just gonna go work at Costco, you know, just get a badge, get, you know, gold membership from working there, and you know, just eat some Costco pizza every once a week, you know, get a chicken bake,
free samples.
Yeah, you know, like I think that's a ideal, you know, move to like a suburban area, you know, like just, you know, like fuck it, you know, just got to get the job done there. But no, let's switch back to on topic, you know, a little bit. So like what any dates coming up for you? Anything that I can list for you?
Okay, so for Texas, when does this come out?
I'm gonna post this. Actually, I'm gonna try to get this up tonight. So
okay,
if not tonight, today's what, the 26th, will be up tomorrow, the 27th.
Oh, fine. Okay, yeah. So if you're a Texas listener or in the Texas area, this Sunday, San Marcos, you can see me at Big J's CBD Lounge on the Half Baked Comedy Show. Come on out. I'm doing 10 minutes out there. Tickets are $15. If you pay 20, you get a pre-roll and some wings. And if you use promo code Brandon, Brandon, you get $5 off, and I get $5. So you should fucking use that. Other than that, hey, here's the thing for the OC guys. Ironically, I've already been back twice since I've moved out here, but I'm not gonna be out there for a cool minute. I don't just ever come out just for shows, because it's not like they're paying me enough or at all to do anything like that. But I'll be back, and follow me on Instagram. One, because I'm 2 followers away from 1,000 and I could just really use that positive boost in my life. But 2, every time I am back, I will host and throw this thing called the Shop Comedy Show, which is in Brea, California, Orange County. Free admission, free drinks. I buy and supply them. dude, it's my dad's barbershop, straight up barbershop. We pack about 40, 50 people in there. We've done 2 of them. They're fucking awesome shows. So go follow me at Brandon Legendre, Legendre _ on Instagram. I'll be posting those for dates. Other than that, guys, my podcast is called Your Last Resort Podcast. It's on all platforms. It's very free formed like this, a little less sports talk occasionally in there. We do Would You Rathers. Mark's going to be on it in probably like 2 weeks, give you guys a little break from each other, give us some new stuff to talk about, but do Would You Rathers, desserts, just kind of nonsense. So if you like me, check that out. I also have like free stickers that I give away. If you guys, they have the podcast logo, you can see it on here. It's a little shiny from my ring light or whatever, but those are free. I'll mail them to you for free. These t-shirts, I have a lot of things to promote, but I appreciate you letting me. This t-shirt, it's Your Last Resort Sophisticated Lifestyle. It's my homie's clothing brand. We did a collab. You can buy that in the link in my bio too. Everything is like, if you go to my Instagram page, there's a link tree with everything you could find me on. And the only other thing to promote is I do, it's not weekly because I'm a lazy piece of shit, but like every 3 times a month, about one, I do a food review. It's about a minute. It's comical. Pictures pop up next to me. You can see those on my Instagram. So just go give my Instagram some love, and you can pretty much support anything that I fucking do through Instagram.
Yeah, definitely. Make sure you guys go do that right now.
Yep.
Finish the podcast first, but go do that right after.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Listen to this and then listen. No, I always do that too. I'm always like, don't listen to their podcast until you listen to mine. But no, dude. Yeah. And then for some reason you were like, I really fucking like this Brandon Legendre guy. In 2 weeks ish, I'm starting a new podcast with my roommate, and they're going to be only 20 minutes long. And it's just pretty much us arguing, and we have a mediator who just sits between us while we argue. So very like first take-ish, but not nonsense, like just arguing like who's the better tipper, like who has better etiquette at a restaurant, like who's a nicer like random shit like that. And it's going to be called Room Hates. It's like this is like a weird promotion because you guys like can't look up anything yet, but we're both getting paid next week and buying the equipment, and we're going to be starting another little short form one. Yeah, a little lunch break laugh.
I'm all for the most content you can put out there. We're in a world of content. Like,
yeah,
people are like in a flux of like, oh, there's so much stuff out there. What do I watch? But like, I'm like, just put whatever out there. Like,
because someone's gonna like it.
To your like liking, you know what I mean? Like, don't ever put out something like half-assed, but like, if you can put something, your full effort, everything into it, bro, put as much stuff out there. Because like, we're in the world that all you need is one thing to go viral, one thing to hit, and then you're set.
Yeah.
Like, and you know what I mean? If 6ix9ine can get famous, bro, I can get famous. Just put it like
exactly,
that.
Dude. There's gonna be people who don't like my podcast, but like the podcast with my roommate. There's gonna be people who hate my podcast but like my food reviews. There's gonna be people who hate all of those and like my comedy, and there's gonna be people who just fucking hate me. But like you said, if you have, the important thing is having shit out there. That'd be my advice to any artist listening, is just to get, like he said, put quality shit out there. Emphasis on the word quality. Don't put bullshit out. Don't put half-ass stuff. Always full ass it, even if it takes longer than you want. But yeah, dude, put out as much. If you have a skit that you think's funny, take time to write it, take time to film it, and take time to edit it and put it out. And someone will like it, and some people won't. But like, my best advice and last and final advice is just, if you ever put something out, maybe only 1 or 2 people will tell you that they really like it. Don't take that as a loss, and don't take it as a loss if a few people take you that they don't like it. Because think about in your life how many times you've actually reached out to someone's work and told them how much you like it. It has to be something that you really like and really out of the ordinary for you to do. So if anyone ever just tells you that, fucking thank them. Like, I'm always so fucking thankful for any person in the world that listens to any minute of my podcast, because there's 6 billion fucking podcasts, and it's not like mine is that special. So yeah, check my shit out. And if you like it, guys, I fucking appreciate you. So yeah, that's all I got to promote. Thanks for letting me promote all my nonsense.
I know, man, definitely. Make sure you guys, for real, guys, make sure you guys tap in with Brandon. You're gonna find something that you like, whether it's his White Boy Comedy or
Yep.
his Last Resort podcast, which is a fucking great show. I mean, definitely
Thank you,
guys
bro.
need to subscribe to it. Like, it's
Yep.
not as big like as some of these like big, even like ours is not that big. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you're watching Joe Rogan, you're not watching your Last Resort podcast.
I
But
just not to cut you off. I just had on the Lizard Man from Ripley's
it,
Believe It or Not. Like I met him through comedy. Like you're like the Lizard Man, the guy with his whole body. Yes, the Lizard Man. And then if you're a rap fan, a rapper is big on YouTube in the 2010s, not mainstream, but Wax goes by his Instagram at Big Wax. Like that's who you might know him as. He did the podcast too. So I got some cool people on there, cool friends, cool comics. Just if you like comedy, come fucking check it out. If you don't like comedy, come check that shit out too.
definitely check the shit out. Don't fucking make me find you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But so we're gonna switch into the closing of the segment. This podcast. Brandon. As much as I'd like to sit here and chit chat with you, I got to go to fucking
Yeah,
work.
of course. Me too.
So
Yeah.
I just sent you 2 photos on IG. We're gonna go over the
Yes.
first one. I just want you're gonna look at the photos and I want your input on. All right. So picture number 1. What do you think? Well, what's going on?
Dude, I can tell you this is after we beat Glendale at Glendale our sophomore year. We blew them out pretty bad. It was like competitive halfway through, but we blew them out. This is just like, this is what I mean when I say like people are still my boys. Like D-Wag. I don't, if he's listening, bro, I fucking love you. I haven't spoke to him probably since football, but like that was my boy. We got fucking Corbin there, the craziest motherfucker. I actually might see him on Sunday since I'm going to be in San Marcos performing. And then Marwin, if you guys are watching, I don't know if like the picture will be between us or if you'll tag it in something, but the fucking picture of Marwin, his face in the back will always be a fucking meme to me because that shit's comical. Dude, yeah, these are just like, this photo makes me think of some of the best times of my life, which JUCO will always be. Like the amount of fun I had with football and people and the sport and my life and everything, just JUCO football was some of the best, was arguably some of the funnest times
It
I've
was
ever
like
had.
fun. You know what I
Way
mean?
more fun than Murray State than I ever had there. Not even close.
Like even high school is like so much stress. Like JUCO was like, fuck, I got work tomorrow, but fuck
Dog,
it,
I took so many online bullshit classes all of JUCO. Like JUCO was the shit, dog. Like just because it was grimy. Like because I'm talking about like the self put on team meals at Aloha, the fucking bullshit study sessions we'd have to have in the chaos, and as soon as the softball girls came in, how chaotic that world became in study hall. Just so many goddamn good memories, bro. So many that like it's so corny to say, but I wish I could have appreciated it more, or like I could go back to it and just experience it for like a couple hours,
Yeah, definitely. Like with like no. I mean, now it's not like high school. You had really nothing to pay, nothing to worry about. Like it was a little bit stuff you had to worry about in JUCO. Like compared to now, everything's a whole different ball game. But like then it was like, I got work, I got school, like, whatever. And then like just hang out with the boys, and like everybody's the same age basically, besides fucking, some people that
fucking
were
45-year-old Pat,
coming in on his
old
20
as hell
unit right now, graduating. So that's another person, man. Shout out to Pat, my boy.
For real, shout out there. Pat.
But yeah, man, shout out to the Dons. Hopefully you guys, I think they open up next week, so your thing, go try to make a game with Fullerton.
Dons win, baby. Dons
win. Even when we lose, Dons win.
Yeah. And goddamn, do we lose a lot?
Hey, you know what? When we did lose, it was like by 50. So fuck it.
Yeah, it was. At least I didn't have to play the whole game.
Hey, but I do tell people we do technically have 2 battle of the key victories. Like Fullerton had a forfeit, so we won.
Dub.
We won. So shout out.
They might have put up 80 on us, but it's a victory.
Yeah, like that shit was just.
I didn't even know that till right now. That's funny.
Yeah, they had to forfeit both. Like they were like 0-10. Like
you know what's corny too is I can just picture Nison's bald head ass being like, guys, we're gonna go down there and win our key of the city for the third year in a row. And it's
So
like,
what they did, this is I'm not for sure. This is what I heard. So totally a rumor. Don't get all mad
mhm.
if you're one of the people that make this decision. So I heard they gave the win to the Santa Ana side. So they put like the wins on each side of the key, right? But they kept the same. They kept the score on it. So I'm like, oh, that's fucking like awesome.
That's honestly though, yeah, we don't deserve like there. We don't deserve a victory for that performance.
It should
But
just
for
be
that,
a tie. Like it's just excluded. But know what? Fuck
yeah,
that.
erase those
We
years.
fucking
Forget about
almost
them.
died in that second year. Like I saw fucking Koa, like Anthony almost AK fucking literally was hospitalized because of that heat that day.
Fuck
So,
that, dude. The temperature of the turf was 140 degrees, and I had no backup that game. There were 3 DNs. There's 2 of them. That means 2 of us were in the game at the same time, and I'm the better one, so you know I'm not getting a break.
bro, so I'm the starting left guard, but I'm the backup
Yeah.
center, right? So like I'm like fourth quarter, we're down by like fucking what 30 at this point.
Yeah.
I'm in the game with fucking the seconds and thirds, and I'm like, dude, I'm fucking dying. I don't know how I got through that, test of
Dude,
endurance
I
right
had
there.
sun poisoning so bad I shit my pants later that night. That's
Oh,
how
nice.
sick I was, dude. Like I literally was just I like was laying in the home and in my house in darkness, like I had a concussion and my stomach. I was so sick from like dehydration in the sun that I was throwing up and shitting myself that day. That's how terrible that was. Fuck that game.
Cleats
To
melted.
get Dude, yes, it was actually one of the few games in my whole career where there was a moment where I was like, you should just fake an injury and give up. And I don't, and it's hard to get me to a point of quitting. And I was like, it
Bro,
might be
last
time.
last last comment about this game, bro. Before
Yeah.
the next picture, bro. So you know how the 2 plays fucking D-Jack had a fucking like 88-yard reception and did not
Yeah.
score. So like, bro, just imagine fucking from like the 20, bro, running like all the way down to the 5, like twice, and I'm just like, and the clock's running, and I'm just like, fucking like first game of the year, like we're not even in football playing shape yet.
Yeah.
Like I'm looking at the whole line, we're all fucking dead, fucking pink, it's pink to the face, like this that, and then I think we only scored once out of those 2 times. It's in the 10th.
Yeah. It was, that shit was, yeah. When I was on defense, if that happened, like what you just described, I was like, these guys are going to score because I'm way too tired to do anything now. They have only 5 yards to go. I don't think we can hold them. We didn't have a lot of goal line stands.
Yeah, not
It's
definitely.
not easy though. But all right, so the second picture, you guys can see it. This is my 24th birthday, which just happened. My girlfriend, and you can hear about this on episode 73 of the Your Last Resort podcast, a more in-depth story. But my girlfriend on my birthday, around 2 a.m. crashed a bird scooter into the side of Congress Bridge, which is like our main highway and bridge in Austin, and needed 7 stitches in her nose and knocked out her front tooth. And yeah, dude, it was just a wild night because like it was my birthday and we were on like these bird scooters were taking us to our roommate's car who was taking us home. Like the night was over. So I was like blacked out drunk. It's my birthday. And then I literally just found my girlfriend. And like for anyone who were talking about fights earlier, when you bust your nose open, that shit bleeds like goddamn Niagara Falls. And dog, like I just came up to her in a pool of her own blood. Like I couldn't figure out where she was. I thought she
You
was
think
dead
you think she was dead? Did you ever
for
have a
like
moment?
when I pulled up, I was like it was more like a holy fuck. And luckily she went like and I like knew she was alive, but I was like, dude, like I didn't like because Mark, I didn't know like is she bleeding from her head? Like do I need to apply pressure? Like will that be the difference between her dying and not? Like
Yeah.
I was freaking out, bro. And the worst part of it all was I thought that I grabbed her tooth on the like I grabbed her tooth on the Congress Bridge and I kept it with me and I needed to get it on milk to keep it alive. So I was like screaming at the nurses that I needed milk. And when they went and got me milk, I handed them the tooth and they were like, "Sir, this is a rock." I had picked up a rock on the side of the freeway and just taken the rock with me And
You had
yeah,
a rock and thought it was her too. So
Mhm.
they put a fake tooth in, or were they able to?
Yeah, they gave her a cap because it was chipped. Cat, dude, surprisingly, like all her wounds are healed now, despite how bad that picture looks. There was no bones broken, no major injuries. The stitches are out. Most of the scarring's back to normal. Her tooth, it took two because they thought that she might need a root canal. None of that. So everything went good, dude. And which is crazy because there was definitely a moment the next day where I was just like, yo, like my girlfriend almost died on my birthday. Like she's like if she falls a little bit different, she's paralyzed or dead.
Yeah,
And I
that's
just was
crazy.
like, holy fuck, like that literally because I love this girl. Like I'm gonna marry her. Like we've been
Yeah,
dating for fucking 4 years now. That would have been a god awful birthday present,
yeah,
man.
that would have been pretty. That would have been some shit right
Shit.
there. Like I always tell
But
my
yeah,
girl, like when
she's good.
I always tell my girl like how I remember. I don't remember if you remember. Like we were at a Halloween party like in Buena Park or Fullerton, like
Mhm.
completely random. I don't know how the fuck we ended. I think I sent you that. Like I got invited. I sent you the invitation, and I think we're there. Like, what the fuck is this? So like, I always say like my. You remember my white friend, the one that looks like Durs? I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm like, that's who's
I
on my
have a
podcast.
literal joke in a punchline in one of my jokes where I talk about looking like Durs because of you. So shout out you for that joke.
Hey man, there we go.
Yeah,
I can do
because
practice every
people
day. Like
seem to laugh because I look exactly like
bro,
him.
like you
So
are Durs. Like you could have like,
yeah, we have the same personality too, which is very unfortunate.
but man, hey man, I just want one last question before we go, and this is the last question.
Hmm.
Who do you want to see on the Centerlock show? But the thing is, you got to help me get them on.
I would love to hear from Joshua Vizcaya. Did you played with him our first year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he I think his crazy story. We and he went to my high school and graduated before I ever played high school football. Like
Oh damn.
and then he had like he ran for 2,500 yards his junior year. And then he had some injuries and bounced around and went JUCO and transformed into a fucking monster of a safety. And then he went to like he has a family now, bro, and he's actually coaching
Yeah,
at
Ottawa,
like
right?
the Ottawa Universe, which is so fucking cool. So I think it would be great to have him on to hear him talk about his crazy journey and to have an elite fucking athlete because he deserves a title and he's like making a shit ton of money off sports betting now.
Yes,
So
he is,
he's
bro. I was just about to say.
I think he'd be a great fucking guest. I think anyone who's a fan of this podcast and a fan of sports, and if people like this episode, I think they'll really like his episode.
Hell yeah, man. So I appreciate that. I'm gonna hit up Josh,
Of
get
course.
let's plan it out. But hey man, appreciate you coming on, my boy. This
Of
was a
course.
hell of an episode. I think people are really gonna enjoy this. I think this captured kind of both, like this was pretty much how we talk in person,
Yeah, no, it felt just like a normal conversation.
like I mean there's a little bit less couple less jokes in there, but usually that's
Yeah.
because when Jack's saying something like completely pretty, like I've never had, like I love Jack, but Jack had a joke for me every single fucking day. Like whether it was Eric Cartman, whether it was whatever it was, whatever the deal was, Jack always had me roasting, and then you were always right there laughing right behind him. So, you know,
Ah, man, Jack. What a guy. What a character.
but man, thank you for coming on, my boy. I'm gonna
Of
hopefully have
course.
this up tonight, if not tomorrow.
Yep.
And make sure you guys watch the Centerlocked Show. Make sure you guys watch Your Last Resort podcast, Your Last Food Review. You guys
Hmm.
check a couple of bits out from Brandon, whether it's on the computer or whether you just got to go check them out in
Yeah.
person. So, Brandon, my boy, nice seeing you, and we'll be in contact, my boy.
Sounds good. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me on.
Yeah, man, absolutely. So everybody, make sure you watch this episode in full. Make sure you guys share, you like, subscribe, everything that Sideline Sports has going on right now. We have the Sideline Sports podcast with Alex, me, and Jose. We have the Centerlock Show with myself, and then we have a new untitled show yet, but we have our soccer content coming out with Jose. He
Ooh.
gave you guys a preview last week with the forgot what game it was, Costa Rica versus I think El Salvador. So make sure you guys stay tuned. We have a lot of content coming out, And we'll be back next week with another episode. And shout out to Brandon one more time. And thank you guys. And we'll be back.
Buena Park is in the building. Buena Park? What's the deal? Nothing but the homies out there. Nothing but the homies. What's up with the homies?